Let's now look at the advisory, focusing on the importance of goal setting and long-term cash flow modelling and retiring successfully. Campbell Breheny from Shadforth Financial Group joins us now. Campbell, welcome.
Thanks for having me, Andrew.
Up from Tassie, where you do business down there. Let's take a look at the importance of setting goals. So do you have clients coming to you and they really they want to retire, but they don't actually have a goal?
More often than not, Andrew, they don't have clearly defined goals. They have general goals and wishes and things that they would like to do, and I help, sharpen up exactly what they are, because without a clear set of goals, it's very difficult for me to successfully do my job to help them meet those goals.
What sort of goals do they need, and at what point do you need to start planning for those goals?
The earlier the better, generally.
Yeah.
Most of the goals are generally the key ones. When do you want to retire? How much would you like to retire, live on in retirement? And what are the sorts of things that you would like to do, whether it's helping kids, grandkids, travelling a lot, doing some philanthropic work, all sorts of things. And once we can condense and clarify those goals, we can start working on strategies to achieve them.
Often they're not easy to come up with. Primarily the biggest issue is you have no idea how long you're going to live for, do you?
No idea, no. So you've got to build in, you've got to be reasonably, conservative when you're making some assumptions, because you never want a client running out of money. However, the reality I've found in 20 years of advising is that I've never had a client run out of money, okay, and it's generally, the problem is the other way around. Clients run out of life and still have plenty of wealth, and my experience has been that I think there's been too many clients dying with significant wealth and having gone without doing the things that I think they really wanted to do.
All right, so it's a matter of enjoying life while you've got it. So it goes to that point of can you have your cake and eat it too?
And generally you can, not everybody can, let's be honest, but most people, I think, with a reasonable amount of cash flow modelling, so you work with people to plug in all of their information, what they have, what they want, what they need, and work backwards so that you can get them on a path to living the sort of life they've always dreamt of, and usually that is a more, a higher wealth lifestyle than they probably ever dreamed of.
How important is it to have a constant sort of passive income then as you get into retirement?
Extremely. Income's everything. The most important thing in income is a cash flow, and I guess for most of my clients is knowing the confidence to know that income isn't about to run out before they pass away.
All right. So what sort of investment vehicles and assets would you be looking at, or does it depend on the individual client?
We generally adopt a fairly simple strategy, which is an evidence-based investment strategy. So I personally don't really go out and try and beat markets. I try and harness the returns that markets offer to calibrate a person's risk profile, so that they can take sufficient risk to meet their goals, and if they want to take a little bit more than that, that's great.
What sort of sentiment are you getting across from your clients at the moment, particularly given we all know cost of living is fairly dire at the moment. People are struggling.
Yeah.
There is the prospect perhaps we're going to get some rate cuts. How are people sort of factoring all that in, that the current circumstances as they look towards the future?
Yeah, uncertainty is a big issue, Andrew. Clearly at the moment, uncertainty is huge. And it is something that, shorter term, we don't want our clients particularly worried too much about, because the uncertainty that we're seeing at the moment is going to come and go. I don't imagine it's going to disappear anytime soon. But the longer term cash flow modelling that we do with our clients really sets them free from having to worry about the day-to-day and week-to-week comings and goings that we're seeing in the news and paper.
It's all very well worrying about yourselves and your retirement, but for those with children, no doubt they'd be worried about them as well. For instance, trying to fund a house, how they're going to fund their living going forward. Is that a conscious issue for many retirees at the moment?
Yeah, I think for any parent, really, Andrew. Certainly me with my own kids, and certainly that doesn't change with my clients in their 60s and 70s. They're most concerned about their kids' mortgages, their grandkids being able to get houses, and so there's certain strategies that we like to be able to do to help them do that. If that's important to them, we can generally help.
Yeah, because we often hear about the bank of mum and dad. So are you finding that's increasingly the case at the moment then?
Yeah, more and more so. As you work with clients and you work with them to unlock the level of wealth that they have and what enables them to do, changes the discussion for them that perhaps, I don't want to pass away, the richest man or woman in the graveyard, and perhaps I would like to bring some of my their inheritance forward so that they can get a spot in the property market. They can educate their kids, how they want to educate them, and all those sorts of things.